CMC, the foundation of IFA, and the home of Macedonian culture, with the aim of giving a step forward towards the relationship between Macedonia and Greece.
Members of the Macedonian minority and members of the home of the Macedonian culture, we would like to express our appreciation to our friends of the St. Maurits Copiters and the great support of printing this dictionary, which is the first dictionary in Greece. And from our point of view, we decided to publish and to work, to play actually a real bridge and a positive role between Macedonians and Greek people, not only in North Greece, where members of Macedonian minority lives. Even more, we believe this will be a very useful instrument between Greece and the Republic of Macedonia, and we believe very strongly a positive and constructive relationships in the future. I would like to stress that it's our obligation as Greek citizens too, that we must work and implement European principles, the way of dealing on European level about minority rights, human rights, respecting diversity. For us, I'd like also to say thank you to Mr. Alfonsi. It's not coincidence sometimes. 15, 16 years ago, as a members of Rainbow, we were invited from Mr. Maximoni, a European parliamentarian from Corsica. It was 1994. And in 2001, Mr. Alfonsi invited us, and we are participating in this press conference. Finally, I thank all of you for presence and for your people everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavlos. I've named my intervention Bridges for Dialogue. That's the name of the press conference and the conference that we are having. And I also want to say that the road from Athens to Skopje goes through Lerin. In a time in Europe, even in very centralized states like Poland, France, the UK and the Netherlands, where many political discussions are held on the implementation of the European Charter of Regional and Minority Languages, the Greeks and the Macedonians are stuck in a juridical and constitutional limbo. In a time when the Euro and the members of the Eurozone are under serious threat, and Greece seems to be heading for a total financial bankruptcy, and Macedonia seems 20 years after its independence still not being allowed to enter the EU, Greece and Macedonia continue to disagree on the name issue. In a time where Greece actively uses a veto to block Macedonia's rights towards a new future, both countries should be focusing on a joint future, certainly in this fragile Balkan region. If they do not want to risk missing this historic moment of change, one could say that Macedonia has not booked the progress they had hoped for, freeing itself 20 years ago from dictatorship. But it could equally be said that today Greece has not made the progress it had hoped for when it freed itself from dictatorship 37 years ago. Both countries are in crisis today, but let's not lose time in defining the problem we already know, but let's talk about starting to solve this. Very often people say that crises are opportunities for change. Let's use this opportunity. My several visits to the Balkan area and meetings held here in Brussels with the competent and relevant partners learned me that it is time now to let go of the history and to both choose for a common destiny. This can only be done in mutual respect. Mutual respect means recognizing one another and respecting one another's territorial integrity and one another's minority groups. It is high time Athens, 15 years after accepting a party, here represented by Pavlos, who represent Macedonians in Greece, to face facts and to recognize and accept those Greek citizens of Macedonian descendants as equal citizens in society, and to give them the rights that are taken for granted in more and more European democracies. More and more linguistic and cultural rights are implemented as universal rights. It's high time that Greece no longer contests what cannot be contested, the right of a country to auto-define itself. Where in heaven's name is this name discussion leading the two nations and the citizens of the two nations? It's leading them nowhere. It is high time that Greece, instead of spending the money it no longer has in actively denying the existence of the Macedonian community in Greece, but in recognizing and building together, building bridges. Without this recognition, no real communication can take place. And without knowing each other's language, no respectful dialogue can be made. And therefore, not out of sentimental reasons, not out of symbolic reasons only, but because of pure utilitarian motives, we have supported this project of creating a dictionary Macedonian Greek. The version Greek Macedonian was published some years ago in Athens, and we thought it was symbolic, first in Athens and now in Brussels, the heart of Europe, to connect Greece with Europe, but also to connect Macedonia and Skopje with Athens and Greece. I'm a collector of dictionaries, and I know that many combinations between languages still does not exist. If you are looking for a dictionary Kurdish, Sorbian, or a dictionary Basque, Uyghur, you will not find it. But there are thousands of kilometers between those two, between those people. But the neighboring countries like Greece and Macedonia, there should be a dictionary. That's why we've thought it was important to support this project. To conclude, I know that very soon it will no longer be denied that Macedonians live and work in Greece, and that they have the right to teach their children to speak their mother tongue language and Greek. I know that the abbreviation FYROM will soon be abandoned as a heartless artifact created out of lack of dialogue and lack of understanding. Let's build bridges. A first bridge is a recognition of the reality in Levin. The second is the reality in Skopje. Greece and Macedonia are such beautiful nations that have today only to win if they choose for the future and for communication, for mutual respect and for recognition. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we are going to open some minutes for questions, if you have any.
Κύριε Βοσκόπουλε, επειδή πολλά λέγονται ανάμεσα στους ανθρώπους της διασποράς.
Excuse me, the press conference is in French and in English. Could you put your question either...
You said in the beginning that we can take questions in Greek.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't like, I can
No, it's
continue in
okay.
English.
Sorry, I was misinformed.
So, επειδή υπάρχουν πολλές φήμες που κυκλοφορούν το τελευταίο διάστημα στη διασπορά της πρώην Ιουγκοσλαβικής Δημοκρατίας Μακεδονίας σχετικά με τη χρηματοδότηση της οργάνωσής σας, σκοπεύετε να κάνετε δημόσια, να παρουσιάσετε τα έσοδά σας από πού προέρχονται για να σταματήσουν οι καταγγελίες ότι λαμβάνετε χρήματα από την κυβέρνηση του Σκοπίου?
Question. Firstly, when we're talking about a Macedonian political party, Rainbow, as you know, according to the Greek legislative, every year we're giving report, we're writing a report to the Ministry of Economy and Ministry of Interior according to the Greek laws regarding costs, donation, and dealing as a political party. This is the first answer regarding Rainbow and the political party which is supporting cultural association. Regarding home of the Macedonian culture and generally the support, let me stress, we're not talking about economical emigrants that they are supporting, for instance, cultural events in North Greece, members of the Macedonian minority. We're talking about Greek citizens living as immigrants, Australia, Canada, United States, Europe. Let me also inform you, there are many of them, they are not allowed even to return and live in Greece. They are excluded of the right of repatriation. When we are talking about Macedonian political refugees, they were pushed away in 1949 and still living not in Greece in their own villages. For us, it's our honor when they are supporting our party as well cultural associations. I would like also to add, we're very glad also when we are cooperating and we are doing with our Greek compatriots, Greek Democrats, very open-minded people, and I hope we'll have positive steps forward in the future and improve in Greek society a real democracy regarding human and minority rights.
Thank you, Pavlos. Is there any other question? Short, please. We have only 2 more minutes.
You just said you're a party, political party. If you are a party, when was the last time you went to elections? You don't remember. That's the first thing. And the second thing is more logistical. How many do you think you are? Just for you.
Well, Rainbow is a political party established thanks to the support of the former Rainbow Group in the European Parliament. It was a rejection of the Greek courts to registrate the party. This is why I said our Europe is very great. It's actually our warm hands that we can deal and work indeed implementing European principles and values. The party is dealing in European elections, participated 3 times. We have a lot of difficulties participating in equal elections. You can visit the website of the party and write about difficulties during the pre-election campaign. This is the first. And the second, I must stress also, as you know, Greek minority in Istanbul is a number of 2,000 people. As I know, Greek minority in Turkey is recognized, Greek language is recognized. So I believe more or less of 2,000 people living in Turkey can enjoy the same rights, even more, in our country, Greece. The number of the minority. We are continually, as a political party, officially, from the Greek Ministry of Interior, not this year, to include in the previous census a questionnaire about the number of the Macedonian minority, linguistic diversity, etc. We've done the same. We addressed to the Ministry of Interior 2001. Unfortunately, there is no answer from our Greek authorities. I can give you generally the information. If you visit, you have an open invitation. There are more of 500 villages in North Greece speaking Macedonian language. You have an open invitation, come and visit.
Thank you very much. We don't have any more time for questions, but you can put the questions after the conference.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I propose that we start with the conference. What we did with the Centre Maris Kopitas Foundation of the European Free Alliance is to assist the Home of Macedonian Culture in having experts appointed to make this excellent work, linguistic work, the Dictionary of the Macedonian Greek languages. 2 years ago, the first part was published with the Greek Macedonian direction of interpretation, and we see this now as the conclusion of an important work to enable people of the two countries, the Republic of Macedonia and Greece, to be able to speak with one another. If I'm not mistaken, the first to speak is Maria, who was one of the makers and motors behind this project. I give her the floor as editor and maker of this dictionary. Welcome in the European Parliament.
Ladies and gentlemen, respected guests and dear friends, these days, when the nature by its regular rhythm of changing the length of the day gives us the longest moments of sunlight, I would like to express my gratitude and thank you for being here with us today to share the joy of today's event. The occasion today is to present the first dictionary of contemporary Macedonian Greek language, also it is modern Macedonian Greek language, recently published in Greece. In order to avoid any misunderstanding about the title of the work that we are promoting today, I would like to point out that the lexical unit, which are method interpretation in this dictionary, are words from the contemporary Macedonian language. Let me use this opportunity to say a few words about the language whose vocabulary is interpreted appropriately in Greece. The modern Macedonian is an Indo-European language from the family of Slavic languages belonging to the South Slavic group. At the same time, it is a Balkan language. Today, it occupies the central position in the Balkan Peninsula. It has common borders with Serbian, Greek, Albanian, and Turkish spoken in Thracia, which makes possible the inclusion of a large number of Balkan characteristics into the modern Macedonian language. The historical development of the modern Macedonian language dates back to the 9th century AD, when the Slavic literacy began with a standard Macedonian language. The modern codification of the Macedonian literary language was as late as 1944, although from the 1860s onwards, attempts were made at creating a general Macedonian literary standard. The Macedonian language has a rich history. It developed from the dialect of the South Slavs, who deeply penetrated the Balkan Peninsula, and it has common features with the Bulgarian dialects to the east and Serbian dialects on the north. Located in the Slavic linguistic periphery, within the sphere of the Greek-Byzantine civilization and Roman Balkan culture, Macedonian preserves numerous archaic features and has made a number of innovations. Apart from being the official language in the Republic of Macedonia, the modern Macedonian language is spoken and cherished in many European countries, as well as in the United States, Canada, and Australia, that is, whenever Macedonians live. And it is also very important, and today matter of our meeting, it is also the mother tongue and language of everyday communication of the ethnic minorities in the Balkan states, populated in North Greece, in southwestern Bulgaria and Albania. As official language of the Republic of Macedonia, Macedonia is written using by Cyrillic alphabet. Macedonian is a modern European language which, according to its literary standard and characteristics, is different from the neighboring and other Slavic languages. The dictionary that we are going to present today is in a way a supplement to and fulfillment of a dream that began many years ago but was left unfinished. Therefore, I would like to refer to the long-life desire of the man, Mr. Vasko Karadža, the author of the modern Greek Macedonian dictionary, and share with you the joy of its final realization. The modern Greek Macedonian dictionary by Mr. Vasko Karadža contains about 15,000 words of modern Greek. The author himself submitted his work as a spiritual heritage of the rainbow short time before his death in order to be published in Greece. Certainly, it is understandable that the number of the lexical units created in his dictionary is not even close to one so comprehensive vocabulary of the richest language of all European languages, the language with the longest written tradition, and the language with its literary works dating before 2,500 years. Yet, his dictionary can be of great benefit to all who wish to improve their knowledge of the modern Macedonian language, provided that they have elementary knowledge of the language or intend to learn it. Finalizing his lifetime work, the author expresses his personal concern about the seriousness and responsibility he undertakes by trying to create such a dictionary. However, knowing that such an endeavor could create some kind of fundamental bonding encouraged him to continue his hard work because, as he said, the approachment between our people today is a priority in many aspects of modern life living, and it is certain that the strengthening of everyday cultural aspect in our languages, that is to say, the languages covered in both dictionaries, and the development of relation in all segments, now and in the future, should be applied in principle to all of us. That was the idea of the author of the previous dictionary. Sincerely, I deeply regret that the dictionary, on which he worked for so many years, so meticulously and diligently, failed to see the light of the day in our country, Republic of Macedonia. But maybe there is a truth in the old saying that everything happens for a reason. So it happened that his dictionary was finally published in the country where he was born, in Greece, and where was his birthplace, the village Dombeni, which in 1926 was renamed with a Greek name, Dendrochorion. For the rest of his life, he strongly longed to visit at least once again his native country. Formerly, such an opportunity was foreseen with the law number 1266 from 1982, which regulated the issues of repatriation of political immigrants in Greece. We have said something about that. However, for him and for thousands like him, the provision was not applicable because he was regarded as non-Greek by origin. I must say that it was my great privilege for me to know Mr. Karadzic personally, as he lived in my neighborhood in Skopje. Also, he was the one who indirectly encouraged me once to walk very firmly on the path of my professional career, when I was faced with the problems in the field of my profession, classical philology, with the problems that seemed unsolvable. However, I must admit that I was only partially aware of his idea and his dream for the dictionary, on which he worked for so many years, guarding it as carefully as the most precious treasure. And therefore, my joy was immense when, on recommendation of the one university professor from Skopje, I was suggested by the members of Rainbow, as an experienced classical philologist, who can help with a review of the dictionary of Mr. Karadzic before its final publication in Greece. This quite unexpectedly, or perhaps as the finger of fate, I was given the possibility for indirect spiritual contact in a professional sense with the creator of the first modern Greek Macedonian dictionary. The modern Greek Macedonian dictionary was published 2 years ago in Thessalonica by the decision of the Rainbow, an organization of the Macedonian minority in Greece. The dictionary is also the starting point according to which I designed and structured the modern Macedonian Greek dictionary that we are presenting today. At this occasion, I would truly like to express my gratitude to the European Foundation Center Moritz Kopietes, and to the members of the House of Macedonian Culture from Levin and Florina in Greece, whose wholehearted support made the printing of this edition possible. When I was preparing the material for this dictionary, that was to follow as a second volume, I constantly struggled to define the final number of the lexical units of the contemporary Macedonian language, which would appear in the modern Macedonian Greek dictionary. I consider this concern as quite justified, primarily because of my deep respect for the inexhaustible richness laid in the lexical treasure of the Greek language. The original idea for making a modern Macedonian Greek dictionary was to use the vocabulary presented in the modern Greek Macedonian dictionary by processing the material obtained by inversion in a way that it could be sorted in alphabetical order of Macedonian alphabet, and next to it to add corresponding Greece interpretations, which should also be taken from the already mentioned dictionary. However, it appeared that the final preparation of such a dictionary would take many more interventions, primarily because of the way we drew the material for processing. As a result of these interventions came the final number of words as lexical entries, which to our pleasant surprise is equal to the number of lexical units for modern Greek Macedonian dictionary. So, the modern Macedonian Greek dictionary that you have now in your hands covers about 15,000 units of headers taken from the modern Macedonian language. Its structure and appearance is as follows. The letters are given in bold letters and are sorted in the order of the Macedonian alphabet. For standardization of the words, we use universal abbreviations that provide information about the grammatical category of the words. In doing so, when it seemed necessary, additionally are given other data concerning the change of the word base, that is, its plural forms predominantly at the nouns of the male gender, for gender of adjectives, and for the forms with articles. In order to overcome, at least partially, the scarcity of the material for the Macedonian words which obtained by inversion appear to be only imperfective verbs. Where there were opportunities are inserted or point to the relevant perfective verbs in the Macedonian language. Verbs are standardized for the third person singular verb forms, and where if they have reflexive forms, then it is usually marked together with a reflexive pronoun in parentheses. Interpretation is given only in the cases where the reflexive form of the verb has completely different meaning. Sometimes, to the primary meaning of the word are attached short phrasal expressions, syntagmata, that are usually placed at the end of the sentence section. The repetition of the word without changing its character is presented by appropriate symbol. For the interpretation of every word, I usually use the meanings that appear in the material for the Greek language, and I also add other interpretation for those meanings that the word which is subject of interpretation as in the Macedonian language. The division of the meanings of the words and their semantic gradation is marked by appropriate signs in order to indicate various semantic nuances of the words. That is, in cases when there are more Greek words, then the interpretation itself is referred to other dictionary entries. In cases where there is no full correspondence between the Greek and the Macedonian language, the meaning of the given word is explained not only by ordinary translation into Greek, but also by adding suitable definition. Besides those words, ordinary, those is limited to a certain area, appropriate notes are given. Specialized terms and separate special meanings are marked with special abbreviations. Special abbreviations too were created in order to mark stylistic features. And we paid special attention on the metaphorical, figurative meanings of the words. Especially interesting and frequent are those examples where the figurative meaning of a given word in Macedonian coincides with the figurative meaning of its Greek semantically relevant word. By considering the dictionary set and proceeded materials like this, we think that this dictionary, except for the language, can serve as a useful resource for other scientific purposes. Almost the equal presence in both languages of many and same words of Turkish origin, the very similar and almost identical metaphors and other stylistic features, the abundance of Greek words which appears for correspondence for only one Macedonian word. That is only part of the data that this dictionary can offer for further sociological, cultural, ecological, historical, and other studies of investigations of this kind. Of course, the methodology that was imposed at the beginning of my work produced certain disadvantages of this dictionary, which only partly I tried to avoid. In any case, the mode to tackle the creation of this modern Macedonian Greek dictionary, with all its provided virtues and weaknesses, was run by well-intentioned and sincere desire to secure a bridge connecting the fellow citizens of the same state, but in the same time to secure a bridge that will bring together two neighboring nations and citizens of two neighboring countries. A particularly significant value in this dictionary is that it treats the languages spoken by people living with centuries on the land very close two very close to or adjacent to each other. Today is the day in which the nature gives us the ever long-lasting brightness. At the same time, this is a day that will bring lasting spiritual life in the cultural life for all citizens of Europe and especially for the citizens of Greece. For today, a small part of them will officially receive another confirmation of their identity, and they also receive a support that will allow them to identify its essence, because it is not only a mere coincidence that in the manuscripts of the Old Church Slavic, the word jezik, basically meaning language, sometimes is used as a Slavic equivalent to translate the Greek word ethnos with its specific meaning of other people. I sincerely believe that this event will be seen as something very positive also by their fellow citizens with whom they share their daily spiritual, cultural, and social life in all aspects of everyday living. Therefore, the need for the occurrence of this dictionary should be considered as something quite natural, logical, but also as something very necessary.
Thank you very much, Marianne. I now give the floor to Pavlos Voskopoulos, who is one of the most important persons in the home of the Macedonian culture, struggling for several decades now for the rights of Macedonians in Greece. Pavlos, you have the floor.
Thanks for your warm welcome. On this occasion, I would like, at the beginning, on the name of the members of the Home of Macedonian Culture, to say a great thank and appreciation to the Center Mauritis Kopiters. I would like also to thank European Free Alliance, FIA, for the support of this dictionary. And of course, I would like to thank Ms. Maria Alexis Chicheva, great editor, Lotte Tsvetanovsky, who is working in this dictionary, Dimitrios Ioannou, a member also of Rainbow, participating in this dictionary. I'll try to give you shortly a picture of the situation of the Macedonian-speaking population in North Greece. We're talking about over 500 villages speaking Macedonian languages. Older people still keep as a mother first language in Macedonia. The second language is Greek. The youngest generation is using Greek language, and the second language is the Macedonian. Let me inform you what was going on, for instance, 6-7 decades ago. And this is why we as Macedonians are working and implementing European values and principles. Because, for instance, in 1920s, 1926, in this present era, we're talking about United Nations. Before the Second World War, we were talking about Ligue des Nations. Ligue des Nations. So, it was also a sensitivity regarding respecting minorities, even in the 90s, after the First World War. And Greece actually pressed from the international level and institutions, printed, which is very interesting, a primer, Abecedar. The language, actually a primer of the Macedonian language. This was happening in 1926. Unfortunately, was not never shared this primer to the Macedonian villages. In this decade is also interesting when we're talking about Macedonian language. During the press conference, we were talking about census. To have a census, 21st century. You will never find information in every Greek archive, any information and numbers of Macedonian-speaking population. Can you imagine that when we're working members of the Home of Macedonian culture, as well as thanks to the work of a Greek Democrat, Dimitrios Lithoxou, researcher working in Greek archives about census 70 years ago. In North Greece, you will not find such an information. This is questionnaire, official. This questionnaire defines the names of the Greek citizens and which is the mother tongue of the population. Kutsovlahiki, which means Armenish or Vlach language, Macedonian language, Serbian language, Bulgarian, Jewish, etc., etc. You will not never find, because the Greek state never published any information about Macedonian-speaking population. Sometimes we are members of the Home of Macedonian culture, we are members of Rainbow, we are coming in European Parliament, we are exchanging views with our friends from Corsica, from Welsh. The experience of Flemish people, of the Basque people, of the Catalans, of the Bretons, and we are still very sorry about our state Greece. In 21st century, not recognizing, not respecting linguistic diversity is quite a negative approach, opposite to European values and principles. Let me also inform you, we feel very sorry also about the situation of Greece, because it's a member state of the European Union. We are citizens of Greece, and we would like to see improvement of democracy regarding respecting diversity, at least linguistic diversity. And the same situation is also in Bulgaria, because let me inform you that this language and the use of the dictionary, the language is spoken not only in the Republic of Macedonia, in North Greece, in Western Bulgaria, not recognized and not respected in Bulgaria too, in Albania, which is recognized and respected, as well in Kosovo, and the language is spoken as well in Australia, Canada, in all these diaspora countries. Let me also inform you that many international institutions visited North Greece. Members of the Council of Europe, of Equity Committee, experts from United Nations. There are a lot of reports and many recommendations continually to our state Greece to start at least a minimum respecting linguistic diversity and not only Macedonian-speaking population. Generally, overcome indeed stereotypes and prejudices regarding a policy of full homogenization of a state. Similar, it's difficult even to organize a positive books, publishing, working regarding the rights of the Macedonian minority. You're informed about what is going on with the effort of organizing promotion in Athens. It's very easy to visit a website, the website of IFA or even YouTube, and if click, for instance, promotion in Athens Macedonian dictionary, you will have your own experience about what is going on over there. I'd like also to give you some idea about the home of the Macedonian culture, which is a typical example also. We're not talking only about a report of Helsinki Watch. The Macedonians of Greece, it was 1992, it's international institution, interviews with a lot of people, Greeks and Macedonians, starting beginning of 90s, recommendation, we still have a hope that it will be better, and we believe it will be a beneficial also for the Greek society. The home of Macedonian culture started actually the beginning of 90s to register an association to improve the culture, traditions, languages, and the Macedonian language too. It was beginning of 90s, and unfortunately in every level inside the judicial system, continually the Greek state was rejecting to recognize and register a cultural association. Not a Macedonian minority, we're talking about a cultural association. After 6-7 years, using all the legal instruments, members of the Home of the Macedonian culture had to appeal in the European Court of Human Rights. So in 1998, the Home won and Greece condemned because not respecting actually the convention regarding respecting diversity, the right to registration actually according to the convention article 6 and 11. And we were members of Home and Rainbow as a political party after that finally we will start. And we appeal for the second time, particularly after the decision of the European Court of Human Rights, beginning of previous decade. Unfortunately, for the second time, every Greek court, 3 level steps, rejected actually to implement the European Court of Human Rights, and now the case of this association is again in the European of Human Rights in Strasbourg. And this is why sometimes that we are trying to find support and cooperation, as I said, in those warm hands in European Union, in European Free Alliance, in CMC Foundation. I'd like also to express our hope, because we are working in North Greece together with open-minded Greek friends, not only Macedonians. We believe sometimes economical crisis or such a difficult situation, you know, everybody, all of you, what is going on. What is going on regarding financial crisis. And many European friends were not maybe well informed about what is going on with the funds and how Eurostate Greece using the great support of European Union. Today, Greece is almost very close to a bankrupt. From our point of view, it's many years some kind of ideological bankrupt in our country regarding respecting minorities, national minorities, linguistic diversity, essential human rights, about members of national minorities. So we hope actually that we will be useful also as members of the Macedonian minority and work inside Greek state to overcome finally fear, prejudices, stereotypes. This will be a beneficial for our state, for Greece, improve society. Forget the overcome political measures, homogenization, nationalism, demonized enemies continually, self-turning of mostly of the Greek people, and don't try actually to see what is going on, particularly about diversity. I'd like also to say thank you all of you. For us, it's a great day, and we hope that we will be able to organize a promotion conference not only in Brussels, in North Greece, maybe in Athens, in the next period. Thank you all of you, and we're open after the conference to answering every of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pavlos. I have to also thank Francois Alfonsi, who could not stay with us for the rest of the conference, for his support. I would now like to give the floor to the president of the IFA group. We are very warmly welcoming Jill Evans, president of the IFA group. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Diolch yn fawr. Thank you, first of all, for the opportunity to speak here at this historic event at the launch of the first Macedonian-Greek dictionary. And as Gunther said, I am president of the European Free Alliance group in the European Parliament. I represent Wales, but we also have members representing Scotland, Catalonia, Latvia, Corsica and Flanders. And we are obviously elected by our own parties and our own countries, but we've always been very aware of the responsibility on us as members representing the whole of the European Free Alliance to act in solidarity with our partner parties who don't yet have representatives in the European Parliament. And so it's a great pleasure for us to show this solidarity today. And as a group, we not only understand, but we campaign for equality. Equality for all of our languages, and the value of diversity within the European Parliament and within the European Union. We organised a conference here in the European Parliament last year on languages and minority languages, and over 200 people attended from all over Europe, from Galicia, Occitania, Estonia, many other countries. And we focused on three main policy areas, which were minority languages in member states, multilingualism in the European institutions, and protecting linguistic groups from discrimination. And by the numbers of people who attended that conference, these were issues that many people care about, even though they may not be on the official European Union agenda. because even though there are 23 official languages in the European Union, there are many, many more languages than that spoken, of course, throughout Europe. And we want all languages to have equality. It's a question of human rights. But that's not the case at the moment. Many languages are treated as second class. Now, I represent Wales in the European Parliament, so I'd like to say a little bit about the situation with the Welsh language, which now has not only official status in Wales, but co-official status here in the European Union. That's something that we fought hard for as an IFA group here, and we still haven't got equality. It's a kind of halfway house, it's kind of semi-official status, but at least we've got some recognition for our language. But in Wales, there was a long campaign over decades, including direct action. Many people went to prison before we actually got proper recognition for the Welsh language. So thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you very much, Jill, for your warm plea also for linguistic solidarity and for our political fight to get, and we will get there in the end, to reach linguistic equality, because it is a fact that as long as there is not this equality among the languages, there will always be other sorts of discriminations, be it social, be it cultural or economically. It passes through this inequality of languages. So we really hope that very soon we will make a new step forward for the Welsh language, but also for all the other languages in Europe. I would like to conclude this part of the session giving you the floor as the public in this conference. But before I do that, I would like to make some short conclusions, and that is, first of all, as also Jill mentioned, do not underestimate the value and the weight of this publication. It is not just a book with some letters, it's not just a book with words, it is a dictionary that will enable two states, the citizens of two states, to learn how to speak with one another. And it's so evident that we believe it's not necessary, but if you imagine that these two neighboring countries do not even have this tool, I'm very interested to know whether there are any situations where neighboring countries do not have a dictionary that they share, where there is no possibility of speaking with one another. So don't underestimate this event and this publication. 2 years ago, when the first part of the dictionary was presented, and that was where Pavlos was making reference to, then there was an enormous amount of aggression, people invading the press conference, starting to shout and throwing things, breaking everything that was in the meeting room. You can see that on the internet. We today have had a very peaceful meeting and a presentation of the book, and we are going to give it another try in September when we will be with the Center Maurits Kopiters in Lerin in the north of Greece, where we will again do an attempt to have this message come across to all the people in the north of Greece, in Athens, and in Macedonia and Skopje, that we are not aiming to steal anything from anyone. We are offering something extra, and notably a tool to learn how to communicate with one another. I was just informed by the cabinet of Commissioner Vasiliou that tomorrow we can have a meeting with her to offer her also a copy of the book as Greek Commissioner, and we will also bring a copy of the book to a representative of the cabinet of Mr. Van Rompuy, the President of the EU Council, and we will bring also copies to the Macedonian and Greek mission here in Brussels, representing both nations. And we will bring them this message of dialogue and this message of peace to make use of this crisis situation in the two nations to go for the path of change and to go and start with the dialogue. And this dictionary is going to be very helpful in this process. I would like to give the floor now to the people in the room. We have half an hour for questions and answers. Please, if you ask a question, be brief, introduce yourself, and also point out to whom you are addressing your question. Who would like to open the session of questions? Don't be scared. No questions? No. Okay.
May I ask something? For instance, I'd like to ask your friend Godze Cvetanovsky how difficult was working with computering, painting, because as I know, you're working with Mrs. Maria Ciceва-Aleksic. So it was so difficult because we were talking about a dictionary, 15,000 of words, how it's actually to work and everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to be part of this successful project, which began thanks to the perseverance of the members of the Home of Macedonian Culture in Greece. From the perspective of lexicography, the dictionary is made according to the latest technical solution, and the European Parliament is the temple of human languages, and therefore a special joy to present it. The Macedonian Greek Dictionary is right here. The work in the dictionary is very, very hard, but I also be okay. I cannot more than speak because I very okay. Excuse me. I'm confused because I'm very emotional. Excuse me, please.
Maybe if it's easier for you to just say a couple of sentences in Macedonian and Jana who could translate. Is that easier for you?
Okay. Премногу сум возбуден за да можам да го искажам чувството да биде човек во Европскиот парламент.
I feel very emotional at the moment, and it's very difficult for me to express how it is to be here in the European Parliament.
А што се однесува до работата на овој речник, навистина треба многу труд да се сработи еден ваков лексикографски двојазичен речник и работата навистина е макотратна. Со часови, денови, да не речам месеци, човек треба постојано да го гледа истиот материјал.
In the meanwhile, has anybody had inspiration for a question, or can we conclude this session? Edwin?
Hello. I was just curious about the situation of the Macedonian people living in Greece. You started by saying that the older generation speaks Macedonian as first language and the younger have Greek as their first language. So how is Macedonian taught to the younger generation? Do they have access to Macedonian literature or media?
I'll give you a typical example, for instance, what was going on with Rainbow and pre-election advertising period. When we sent a video, 5 minutes, because only 5 minutes small parties can have a time in every TV channels, we decided actually at the end, the whole speech, let's say, was in Greek language, and then we decided at the end to say something, go, vote for our party, just 2 sentences. About 8 TV channels, everybody can watch. 3 of them, this spot was between 2 and 3 o'clock after midnight, and 5 big TV channels refused even to play the video. I'm giving some expression of what is going on. I mean, a situation, what is going on about minimum respecting speaking publicly through mass media a different language and not official Greek language and not Macedonian language. Regarding your question now, all these people, when we're talking about North Greece, older generation, well, they will never speak Greek language because actually they're not Greeks. It's normal. I mean, it's a normal situation when we're talking about this part and this region. Of course, Greek-speaking people were living in North Greece also, as well, Vlach people, Arvaniti people, Romani people, etc. And after actually the codification, or better say, the officialization of the Greek language and using the Greek educational system, that means that every 10, 20 decades, the first language, Greek language as a first language in North Greece, older people were not able to go and visit Greek schools. So this is why if you come and visit, you will find up to 60, 70, 80 years old people, you will see that it's more easy for them. The first language actually is Macedonian. It's very difficult to speak Greek because they learn from their grandchildren, from their friends, etc. But when we're talking about younger generation, it's quite difficult for a guy to save and keep. The only way to save it is to keep it in family environment, but it's not enough. This is why we're demanding officialization, recognition, and start to learn Macedonian language inside the Greek educational system. And even more, I'd like to add also that we, as a member of the minority, as a Rainbow, as home of the Macedonian culture, we are always trying to convince our people and Greek citizens. We are talking about respecting diversity. We are not thinking about, let's say, negative policies in the Balkans, in Southeastern Europe, using minorities, national so-called interests, manipulating, etc. We are rejecting everybody. We would like, as I said many times, implementing in neo-political ideology values from European Parliament and our friend people, as dear Julian said, how Welsh people and other people are dealing on European level. So we're actually asking from our Minister of Education in Greece, start at least an elementary level, because if this was not going on next 20, 10, 20, 30 years, it will be difficult to find people to speak Macedonian language as the first one. Thank you.
Anybody else with a question?
You know very well, I mean, or most of you, if you're following the so-called Council of Europe, conventions and charters, in 1997, the Prime Minister, George Papandreou, signed in 1997 Charter for Minority and Regional Languages. According to this convention, every member state of Council of Europe must implement recommendation, and it's, as I know, an obligation to give a report to relevant bodies in the Council of Europe. But a presupposition is if a member state of Council of Europe must ratify the Charter in the Parliament. So we have now 2011, not ratified, and we know why actually our government is refusing. It's the main global Greek ideology regarding linguistic diversity. It's not coincidence, for instance, that it's very difficult for our friends to talk about Turkish language or Turkish minority. You will listen continually Muslim minority and not Turkish minority. So this is why a reason which is very important for us is officialization. It's not so easy for members belonging to a minority to keep and work. We know that in every organized state, to keep a language is not so easy just to speak inside the family. We have a great example also. We're teaching and answering. We know, for instance, what is going on with the Basque people. There are, as I know, 3.5 million people, but in very difficult years. It was a Franco dictatorship, etc. It was very difficult for Basque people to save the language. It was Basque people speaking Basque in the mountains. It was not easy. And you know, we were very happy when we visited Basque country. For us, it was a positive impression. We saw grandchildren, because the language is recognized and respected in Spain, very happy going at home and calling to his grandfather and grandmother and show him how to write in the Basque language. So we dream, we're dreaming, maybe this will happen this decade. And after going to Greek schools and following Macedonian lessons, call our grandfather and say, come now to know this our roots and our language. Thanks.
Thanks very much, Pavlos. I think it's a correct assessment that this is not going to solve all the problems. It's going to help the Republic of Macedonia and its citizens to feel more integrated into the European Union, but it's not going to help a lot for those people from Macedonian descendants living in Greece, who will not, just like Miklos explained, as Hungarian, being from Hungarian origin, living in the Slovak Republic, with this retrograde linguistic law that was issued a couple of years ago, to which now European court cases are issued to try and condemn this situation. Let's hope that, as you expressed it in a positive way, that things will change in Europe and that this will not be repeated over and over again. To conclude, I would like to say that on the website of the Center Maurits Kopitar and also on the website of the Home of the Macedonian Culture, the information will soon be posted where and how you can buy the book, the two versions of the dictionary in the both directions. So everybody who is interested will find information there and will be able to order the books. I would like to thank the editors, especially and the lexicologists who have been working in this project. And I would like to also thank Ignacy and Adriana and Eva and Jana who have been supporting this event and organizing this. And I would especially, and symbolically, and it's very important, also like to thank the interpreters, because they made this linguistic event also to become a success, and the tools of interpreters to prepare themselves for their works are exactly dictionaries. So let's hope that in the run-up of Macedonia becoming a member of the European Union, these will be tools for our interpreters over there and many of their colleagues to try to learn the language on the basis of all the work that has been prepared for you to make future work of people working here in this house as parliamentarians, as MEPs, value. And so let's hope that it's also in this way going to pay off. Outside of the meeting room, the European Free Alliance, the Centre Maurits Kopp-Peters and the European Free Alliance Youth, together with the Home of the Macedonian Culture, offer you a glass and something small to eat, and so we can, in an informal way, also talk a bit further about the subject. I thank you very much for your interest and your participation, and hope to see you soon in another of our events. Thanks very much.
Alle Menschen werden Brüder, wo dein sanfter Frieden